Hi there. This video today isn't about using Nuke at all, but it's about celebrating cinema and reminding ourselves why we're in this industry in the first place. While I am working all day with Nuke, I have my headphones on and I listen to a lot of podcasts. And one of the podcasts I've been listening to the longest is the BBC film review show with Simon Mayo and Kermode. I've probably been listening to it for about 15 years now. It's probably the longest running podcast on my playlist. During lockdown, when all the cinemas were shut, they asked listeners to write in with messages and stories and memories of all the local independent cinemas or the cinemas that people have been going to forever, and just to celebrate and shout out all the staff that work in the cinemas and to just highlight how important cinemas are to everybody. So I decided to write a little message about the Rex Cinema in Wilmslow in Cheshire, which is where I grew up. Simon Mayer read it out. So here is my little message about the Rex Cinema in Wilmslow.
On that subject, Conrad, who's in Canada, I'd like to add to the cinema shout-outs with my nod to the Rex Cinema in Wilmslow. I am currently a colonial commoner living in Vancouver, but I grew up in Wilmslow and my parents still live there. The Rex holds prime location in the centre. It's a grand old building with a classic 30s facade and big broad steps up to the entrance. Whilst I was growing up, the Rex played an informative part in my film education. I don't think my first ever trip was to the Rex, but it was the location for many childhood trips, from half-term matinee trips with Nana to see films like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, to one of my first trips to the cinema without adult supervision to see Jurassic Park with friends. Until recently, my last trip to the Rex was to see True Lies as a high school student. It was my last trip there because the Rex closed down in 1995, became a sofa showroom. But the facade of the Rex remained, constantly teasing the idea of there being a cinema there again one day. And a few years ago, long after I left Wilmslow and moved 8,000 kilometres away, it finally reopened. A family called the Mundins bought it, restored it. They added a bar, a cafe, a second screen, and renovated it with a beautiful Art Deco style. They run memberships. It has become quite the place to be in Wilmslow. My parents were never big cinema goers when I was growing up, but now, before COVID, they were going regularly. When I was back in Wilmslow last October, finally got to go back to the Rex after a 25-year gap to see Bombshell. The Rex is the fourth independent cinema that the Mundin family have bought and restored, and it was so good to know that cinemas like this can survive in a world of multiplexes and home streaming. So, which is good. We're just asking you to say, because cinemas, and every week that goes past, cinemas are in more trouble, it seems to me. So if we can wave a flag for some fantastic local cinemas, then we should be doing that.